Hi viewers, in today's class let us study about a unique alga named Euglena. You might remember in your school days when teachers used to ask you whether Euglena is a plant or an animal. It is in fact a peculiar organism because it possesses the characteristics of both plants as well as animals. It was earlier considered as a plant, that is by the early taxonomists, because it contains chloroplasts and it carries out photosynthesis. But it is also considered under the animal kingdom because the Euglena's movement is with the help of a flagellum. Also, it can show the heterotrophic mode of nutrition, that is by engulfing the food like the other protozoans. Of course, now we know that it neither belongs to the plant nor the animal kingdom, and it belongs to a different group of organisms called as the protozoans. But as per the Smith classification of algae, it is classified or it was included under one of the divisions called as Euglenophyta. So that is how we'll be studying this organism under phycology, or in many of your universities, this organism would be included under botany or under phycology paper. So, according to the botanists, this organism belongs to the division Euglenophyta and class Euglenophyceae. It has only one order, that is Euglenales. Family is Euglenaceae and the genus is Euglena. The zoologists have their own method of classification of Euglena. So, according to them, it belongs under Euglenoidea and so on. So, what I am showing you here is the systematic position or the taxonomic position based on the botany nomenclature or botanical nomenclature. Some of the important species of Euglena are Euglena viridis, Euglena sanguinea, and Euglena gracilis. These are the most commonly found species worldwide. When we see the distribution or the occurrence of the organism, it is a freshwater organism. All the species are found in freshwater. Some have also been isolated from the marine water, but primarily it is a freshwater organism that is found in the quiet inland waters. And in such stagnant waters or pools, you will see that the Euglena proliferates and grows to form a bloom that can be seen here as a green surface. So that green bloom is caused due to the proliferative or enhanced growth of Euglena in the freshwater body. When we look at the structure or the thallus of the organism, it is a unicellular eukaryote. So that is the main reason why it is included under protozoa. But here under phycology, we need to remember that this comes under the division Euglenophyta according to Smith. So it has to be studied under the phycology unit as well. It is a unicellular eukaryote which shows two anterior flagella. So there are two flagella which are rooted in basal bodies. These two flagella are of unequal length. We'll see that one of the flagella is extending out, whereas the other flagella is present within itself. So there are two anterior flagella, and these are the organelles that are helping the euglena to move, or this is how the euglena cell shows motility. Though it is unicellular, it is spindle shaped in nature. So it is having a broad middle portion and the ends are tapering. That is what we call as a spindle shape. So this spindle shaped body or structure is having a size which can range from 25 to 100 micrometers based on the age of the cell. The cell shows the presence of contractile vacuoles, which have the main function of collecting the excess water. And apart from this, you can see the other organelles as well, that is mitochondria. There is a nucleus that can be seen. So all the regular organelles which are found in a eukaryotic cell are present in the euglena cell as well. What I'm showing here or what I'm describing here are only some of the key features, the unique features. The cell shows the presence of an eye spot or what we call as a stigma, which is associated with the movement of the euglena cell towards light, which means it is associated with phototaxis. Though it has several chloroplasts, there are many chloroplasts in fact, which are containing a high quantity of chlorophyll A and chlorophyll B. That is the reason they impart a green color to the organism. So it contains chloroplasts, and these chloroplasts do show pyrenoids exactly like how an algal cell does. But apart from that, the organism can also show heterotrophy. So when required, it can switch to heterotrophic mode of nutrition. As it shows both autotrophic and heterotrophic mode of nutrition, we call it as a mixotrophic nutrition, wherein the organism can conduct autotrophy, or it can show photosynthesis and thus prepare its own food, or it can engulf food that we are contributing to the heterotrophic mode of nutrition. The organism has a cell. It does not have a cell wall as its outermost layer. Instead, it is having a protein layer which we call as the pellicle. So the pellicle, which is made of protein, is flexible, and that is what is the outermost layer of the organism. Another point to be noted is that the storage food or the reserve food material in this division is paramylon granules or paramylon bodies. As you can see over here, this is the structure of Euglena. There are two anterior flagella. One extends out towards the end of, almost the end of the Euglena cell, whereas the other one is present inside itself. There is a stigma or eye spot which is helping in phototaxis. Apart from that, we have all the other organelles, but some of the organelles of note here are the chloroplast, which have been shown in green, and the contractile vacuole. So this is the structure of Euglena. The reproduction of Euglena is by binary fission. What is shown here is longitudinal binary fission. That is how the Euglena cell multiplies. There is no sexual reproduction seen in this division, that is Euglenophyta. So this organism multiplies by longitudinal binary fission. As you can see, there is doubling of the flagella, there is doubling of the cell contents, and then there is separation of the cells. There is a small constriction that is getting formed, with the constriction keeps extending and forms a cell wall that divides both the cells. So this is how the binary fission takes place. This is the only mode of reproduction in this organism. When we look at the economic importance or the significance of Euglena, it is in some countries it is used even for human consumption, but other than that, it is definitely acting as a plankton, or it is acting as a source of nutrition for other algae and other plants or other animals, zooplanktons. Not only that, it is used as a model organism to study both plants as well as animals. Like I told you earlier, it has characteristics of both. So it is, from a long time it has been used as a model organism, and presently there are even studies where they are testing this Euglena as a fuel source. So these are some of the pointers about Euglena. What we have looked at is the occurrence, the structure or the thallus, the taxonomic classification, and the reproduction of this division of algae, that is Euglenophyta. I'll see you all in the next class with yet another interesting organism. Thank you.